Oh, crap. Okay. Now I'm broadcasting on YouTube. Oh, this sucks. Yeah, because I'm, anyway, this is Thunder Talk with your Thunder Bear of the Courage family, and this is actually the 7th of July, 2019. Oh my God. I guess I was just thrown off because Wes was going on and on and on with his show. And I tried actually to get on to the to lvrlive.com and it wouldn't allow me to stream. It just kept, it wouldn't connect for some reason. So anyway, yeah, let me recap real quick about the story that I just did. It's from Playboy magazine, and in fact, let me go and give you the date on that was September 2013. It's really old news, but I hadn't heard it before. Apparently, there's these crooks that that use really realistic masks, and the masks are so realistic they have like pores and stuff like that, and they have hair in them or whatever. And it'd be like sometimes it'd be a black guy actually dressed as a white guy, and one of them actually was dressed as a very old man. And they called him Geezer Bandit, and he did 16 bank robberies. So yeah, just to catch you up on that first story. And also, if you're listening on the YouTube, on my YouTube channel, it's Thunder Bear Courage. In the description, I have contact information, stuff like that. Okay. So anyway, also in this magazine, there's an article about DNA. I want to do that one too. Hang on, let me see if I can find it. I forgot. Let's see. I did forget to look and make a note of where that was. Screw it. You know what? I'll find it in a moment. Let me just tell this joke out of Playboy. Oh, by the way, for those since I just got on to YouTube here, just did my YouTube thing. Yeah, I'm a little late coming on because of because there's a little bit of a conflict with the show apparently, in scheduling or something. So anyway, a joke right out of Playboy magazine here. A man returned home early in the morning after working a night shift, went straight up to his bedroom and found his wife in bed with the sheet pulled over her head. Feigning sleep not to be denied, he pulled the sheet halfway off and proceeded to give her oral sex. Afterward, he went downstairs for something to eat and was startled to find breakfast on the table and his wife pouring coffee. "How did you get it down here so fast?" he asked. "We were just making love." She says, "Oh my God, that's my mother up there. She came over with a headache, and I told her to lie down for a while." Rushing upstairs, the woman ran into the bedroom and said to her mother, "Why didn't you say something?" Her mother answered, "I haven't spoken to that jerk in 15 years, and I wasn't about to start now." I love that joke. There's a lot of other jokes in here, but that was the best joke that I saw. Anyway, yeah, I'm gonna be talking about courts tonight too, of course, and I'll be talking about Agenda 2030. I've got the Agenda 2030 in my files, and damn it, I want to talk about DNA here. It's the last article. You know what? I can't find it. Hang on. There we go. Page 53. Just look in the table of contents. That's a good solution, isn't it? Look in the table of contents. Here we go. DNA isn't a blueprint. That's number one. Seven truths about DNA. Blueprints are precise plans. They also they are also reversible. DNA is neither precise nor reversible. In his book, The Greatest Show on Earth, Richard Dawkins makes his argument. Show an architect architect a building and he can recreate the blueprint, but show a geneticist a human and he can't recreate the genome. Dawkins suggests this is because DNA is like a recipe, but it's a recipe that depends on environment, as epigenetics shows, and that's loaded with unnecessary ingredients. Only 1.5% of our genome encodes proteins. The rest is non-coding junk, the purpose of which remains mysterious. The DNA isn't a blueprint, challenges two other beliefs. I want to say something about that. I don't think it's actually junk DNA. I think DNA actually acts as an antenna to resonate with this frequency of this reality that we're in. That's not actually my original thought. I got that from one of David Icke's books. And yeah, I agree with it. I definitely agree with it. I think that's what that's for. It's to resonate with this reality, the frequency of this reality. Anyway, number 2, DNA cloning does not produce carbon copies. Yeah, it wouldn't be as like a total Xerox. It wouldn't necessarily be like identical twins. There would be similarities though, but they wouldn't be identical. Your DNA is not your destiny. In determining characteristics from height to illness, genes don't work alone, but partner with environment, experience, and chance. DNA, and number 4, DNA can't predict behavior. Behavioral genetics stretches back to the 19th century when Francis Galton, Charles Darwin's cousin, tried to connect genetic input with genius output. Since then, scientists have raced to find genes for everything from intelligence to gambling to obesity. It doesn't quite work. Consider the hunt for the murder gene. In 1993, researchers descended on a mutated gene for the monoamine oxidase, an enzyme. Some thought the busted gene, which normally keeps adrenaline in check, explained aggression. But a better explanation seems to be a genotype environment interactions, bad nature, bad nurture. This also means number 5, genetic optimization. That's a tough word. Optimizing the gene, okay, is a fantasy. Number 6, forensic DNA testing isn't fast. When police collect crime scene DNA testing it for a match takes at least 3 weeks. One reason for the delay is the confirmation process. The crime scene DNA is first matched with a sample in CODIS, the nation's DNA database. Then the laboratory takes a DNA sample from the suspect to confirm the match. The other reason is the huge backlog. The most current data provided to the National Institute of Justice put the backlog at 111,647 cases. Now, keep in mind, this is a 2013 article. Number 7, DNA evidence isn't foolproof. Like any evidence, DNA is only infallible as the people who test it. In 2011, Las Vegas police admitted that a technician had mistakenly put DNA in the wrong vial, causing an innocent man to be sent to prison for nearly 4 years. This is especially serious since DNA evidence is often misinterpreted in what is known as the prosecutor's fallacy. It's easy to confuse the low likelihood of a random match with a low likelihood of innocence. When the probability of a random match is extremely low and a mistake happens, how can you defend yourself? Yeah. Actually, that kind of brings us to courts. Evidence is bullcrap in their courts. Those are private courts. They're bar courts. Okay. They don't really depend on evidence. It's all about commerce. It's all about charges. Okay. The charges. our charges. That's what they are. Okay. Oh, hang on. I got a thing from West Stace. Sorry, I was in the middle of dinner and totally forgot that I had recorded thing going on. Sorry about that. By the way, your volume is very low. All right. I need to turn up the volume then. Thank you for letting me know about the volume. Let's see. It's weird that my volume is low. All right, just turn the volume up. Actually, there we go. Whoa. No, that's way too loud, I think. Yeah, because I'm hearing. Okay, yeah, I'm hearing I'm monitoring the what's going out. Okay. Oh, Russell's, yeah, okay. Yeah, Russell says good. Great now. Sounds great now. Okay, cool. So anyway, yeah. Let me get back to this. The court. Yeah. Charges. They're just that. I'm sorry for the squeaky chair. I had brought WD-40 in here to take care of the squeak, and it doesn't take care of the squeak because I can't get to the part of the chair where, it's squeaking. Oh well. So anyway, getting back to courts. Charges. Charges are charges, like on a bill. All right. That's all they are. And those courts are private courts. They are bar courts. They're not state courts. I can easily prove they're not state courts. If you look at the paperwork that they produce, like orders and stuff like that, they'll have what you think of as your name in all capital letters. That's not the way the state courts are supposed to be. Right here in California, I've got the style manual for the state of California for their courts. And it's very clear. The way that they print the name is very clear. They are not supposed to be printing in all caps or all uppercase letters, I should say. It's just capitalizing the names. The first letter is capitalized, and the rest are lowercase. So yeah, they're private courts. What you could do is something really simple and put in writing and get it on record. I will be more than happy to accept the charges as long as you can prove that they are true, valid, and lawful. And you, of course, also do that with the prosecuting attorney. Okay. Now, I've got a court case that's kind of ongoing right now that I'm helping someone with. And I don't want to say too much right now. Okay. But as soon as it's done and over with, I will come on the air and I will tell you about it. It's just, I just don't want to say too much right now. We're going to be doing some things. We're going to be trying some really brand new things that I have not tried before. It's not because, I want to get him off of the charges or whatever. We've got paperwork in the record that does that. However, I got to thinking, he still has that attorney, and that attorney, because we hadn't got rid of the attorney yet, because I haven't even made the attempt yet, because I wanted to wait a little bit. But that attorney, technically, that attorney can come along and just nullify everything that's in the record that he put in. So it's like, well, we got to take care of the attorney, and then we're going to go put some more stuff in the record. But basically, we're going to make a contract with the court. But yeah, there's a lot of really funny stuff going on right now in the court, or with the court, and I can't really tell you about it right now. But the trial should be coming up relatively soon. So maybe the week after next, the show after next, I will be able to tell you. Okay. So, yeah. For those of you who have not heard my previous shows, I've talked about this sort of stuff before, about how they are looking for in the courts, they're looking for a dead man, in essence, or a dead woman. They're looking for a corpse. The word corporation comes from the word corpse, which, or actually technically from Latin corpus, which means body. Okay. It's a body. And it's got that legal person, that legal name attached to it. And I was in court once, and they made it very clear they weren't looking for me. They were looking for the body. They were looking for the legal person. Because at that time, I had two legal persons. Okay. I've got, basically, maybe four, actually. 4 legal persons now. But I had 2 legal persons, and it was an accident. I actually ended up accidentally kind of creating another legal person. I didn't mean to, but it just happened. So I asked them about one legal person, and that legal person was on the wristband, okay, that I had it on at the time that the sheriff's office gave me. And they said, we don't know who that is. It's like, I'm sitting there with the damn wristband from the sheriff's office, and the court's telling me that they don't know who that is. True. Technically true. They don't know who that is. They are only dealing with the other legal person at that time. Anyway, I gotta play a break. You know what? I gotta apologize for the break ahead of time, because I meant to redo some things on it and make it better, but I didn't get a chance to do that. Oops, wrong thing. Wrong thing. I have to do it on my phone. So just hang on. Let me. Okay, here we go. I'm doing it from my phone, so I'm going to play the break. I'll be right back after the break. Please donate to help keep FERlive.com on the air. We thank those who have donated for allowing us to continue on our mission to share the flat earth truth as well as other truths. While FERlive.com is free to listen to, the cost of running the station continue to grow as we do. To donate, please go to FERlive.com and look for the link that says Donate Today. The Ferret thanks you for your support.
You're listening to Flat Earth Radio Live, and this is the Flat Earth Man, and all you're watching is a puppet show. All y'all watching is a puppet show. Yeah, the whole world's a stage. The whole world's a stage, man. You're listening to Flat Earth Radio Live.
Find yourself mastering the beat. Tune in and listen every Saturday for the Geocentric Eccentric with West Blaze Music, our resident musician and spiritual brother in Christ, Yahushua. The Geocentric Eccentric with West Blaze Music.
Check this
yes,
out.
It's message in the music time once again, and only Flat Earth Radio has guided. Saturday, the true Sabbath. Lend a knee and lend an ear. Listen every Saturday for the Geocentric Eccentric with West Blaze Music.
Check this out.
Starting 5 o'clock p.m. on the West Coast, 8 o'clock p.m. on the East Coast,
Check this out.
and 7 o'clock p.m. Central.
This is out.
The Geocentric Eccentric.
The Geocentric Eccentric.
With West Blaze Music. Only Flat Earth Radio has guided. The Geocentric Eccentric with West Blaze Music.
As bad as I wanna be. FlatEarthRadioLive.com. The Ferret.
Hey, John, you don't look so good. What's the matter?
Oh, I always feel tired and run down. No energy. I think it's my poor diet or something.
Well, John, I used to feel the same way. Couldn't sleep at night, couldn't stay awake in the daytime. That's when my doc told me that I had leaky gut syndrome.
Oh, wow. What'd you do? Surgery?
No way. I tried Tarsal. Tarsal is made with the finest, purest cream of tartar and MSM sulfur. And that's all. The fact that it contains all natural ingredients makes it especially desirable in today's toxic world. Tarsal is a white powder that you take every day with water or juice. Taken regularly, Tarsal can clear your leaky gut right up.
Tarsal, huh? So what else does Tarsal do?
Tarsal can help with acne, psoriasis, constipation, gallstones, heartburn, hemorrhoids, hypertension, IBS, and UTI.
Wow, that's quite a formula.
Yes, it is. And Tarsal also helps you to relax, repels insects, and can help you stop smoking.
So how do I find Tarsal?
That's easy. Just go to tarsal.com or call 619-363-1264. Try a bottle today and begin feeling normal again.
TA.
Asking these questions that no one ever asked before because we didn't even think about this. I think it's like God's unlifting the veil, He's starting to show people, look, you want to believe this? It's a lie. People are asking questions and truth is going to prevail. It's like, yeah, the biggest problem is that we're not able to eliminate questions, and therefore we can't assimilate. And, we're a constant. People are asking questions and truth is going to prevail.
Join your host, Shelley Lewis, every Wednesday afternoon at 5 o'clock p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, 7 o'clock Central, and 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Down the Rabbit Hole with Shelley Lewis.
Down the Rabbit Hole with host Shelley Lewis. Only here on Flat Earth Radio Live. The Ferret.
Yeah, I mean, it's laughable what is, tried to pass off as, and you know what's so great now about YouTube and about these video platforms is, back in the day, you got one shot to see this stuff on television, and that was it. I mean, you believed it was true. You saw it once. Maybe you saw it on a rerun. Maybe on the other news channel, they would rerun some of this footage. But now it's all been released, and people have the ability to look at it and to pick it apart and to really think about it. Like we talked earlier about the lunar landing. Now that people have the technology at their fingertips on their laptops to be able to speed up the lunar landing footage. You have the Land Rover going around, and you have the guys hopping around in slow motion. Speed that up 200%, and it looks like they went out in the desert and filmed that. But here's something that I'm going to tell you as a video guy. Here's why I believe that the lunar landing was faked. Because there is no way you can have a power source that strong at that time in history, and there's no way you could transmit that video signal all the way to Earth. Absolutely 100% not. Let me tell you something. I have just on my, if I have a handheld video camera and I want, and let's say I'm shooting a scene and the producer wants to see what I'm shooting. So they have a transmitter in their hand and they have a battery on my camera. The battery that I have is about the size of a brick. It's more square, but it's about the same mass as a brick. And it only lasts for maybe an hour and a half. And that signal only goes a couple 100 feet. Now you're going to tell me that on that teeny little spaceship with that teeny little camera, they're going to have enough power to transmit a full color video signal all the way down to Earth. And I can also tell you this, that the when they promised a full color video signal, the station that broadcasted the lunar landing, they were pissed because they weren't getting raw video feed. What they were getting was called a kineoscope. And for those of you who don't know what that is, that was an editing process used up until the late 1990s. And I've actually seen the kineoscope technology and utilized it when I worked in a film lab, and it's very interesting. Basically, it's an editing tool. So you have a screen, basically it's a television screen, and you shoot that with a film camera. So now it's on 16 millimeter film. So what they did with those videos, in theory, why you see a black and white image of the lunar landing, although they claim the full color videos exist, was what NASA says they did was transmitted the full color video signal, filmed it on a kinescope, black and white on 16 millimeter film, and then released that to the networks. So therefore, it was not a live event, because to get film processed, it takes hours, and it's a whole process that generally takes about 6 hours to complete, even with the most efficient film laboratories. So why would they get this crappy, grainy, black and white film image when they could have broadcasted color, which at the time the networks were pissed that they didn't have the ability to do, that NASA denied them? But anyway, that's neither here nor there. The whole kineoscope thing, that's a side note. My thing is, there is no way with that technology and with batteries being as big and as weak and as heavy as they were, you could have broadcast that signal from the moon. Impossible.
Well, back. Oh my. Sorry for the delay. God. Yeah. Things just aren't going my way tonight, you know? It's just one of those nights. So anyway, certificates of non-citizen nationality. The Department of State occasionally receives requests for certificates of non-citizen national status pursuant to Section 341B of the Immigration and Nationality Act, 8 USC 1452B. As the title of the certificate indicates, only a person who is a non-citizen U.S. national, i.e. a U.S. national but not a U.S. citizen, may apply for such a certificate. So, that shows you that there's a huge difference between a U.S. national and a U.S. citizen. Okay, there's a difference. You never want to be a U.S. citizen. In fact, I wouldn't even be a U.S. national. Maybe an Alabama national, or a California national, maybe. But, well, I don't think I could be a California national. Maybe a national of Alabama. Anyway, continue on. As defined by the INA, that's the Immigration and Nationality Act, all U.S. citizens are U.S. nationals, but only a relatively small number of persons acquire U.S. nationality without becoming U.S. citizens. Section 101A and 21 of the INA defines the term national as a person owing permanent allegiance to a state. Section 101A 22 of the INA provides that the term national of the United States includes all U.S. citizens as well as persons though not citizens of the United States, owe permanent allegiance to the United States non-citizen nationals. Section 308 INA confers U.S. nationality but not U.S. citizenship on persons born in an outlying possession of the United States or born of a parent or parents who are non-citizen nationals who meet certain physical presence or residence requirements. Now, by the way, a resident is someone who's coming into an area to do business and they are expected to eventually leave. That's what a resident is. Okay. The term outlying possessions of the United States is defined in section 101A 29 of the INA as American Samoan and Swans Island. No other statutes define any other territories or any of the states as outlying possessions. In addition to, okay, hang on. I want to skip some of this stuff. As the department has received few requests. Okay, yeah, as the department has received few requests, there is no justification for the creation of a non-citizen national certificate. Designating a separate document that includes anti-fraud mechanisms was seen as an inefficient expenditure of resources. Therefore, the department determined that those who would be eligible to apply for such a certificate may instead apply for a United States passport that would delineate and certify their status as a national but not a citizen of the United States. Okay. If a person believes he or she is eligible under the law as a non-citizen national of the United States and the person complies with the provisions of section 341B of the INA 8 USC 1452B, she may apply for the passport at any passport agency in the United States. When applying, applicants must execute a form DS-11 and show documentary proof of their non-citizen national status as well as their identity. Yeah. So the documentary proof, that would be a certification of live birth, not the birth certificate, but a certificate of live birth. Okay. That's what that would be. Certificate of live birth or a live born record or a record of live birth. Okay. That's proof. Okay. That is proof. ID, the proof of identity could come in form of an affidavit. All right, so you don't need a driver's license. Driver's license actually is not really proof of identity, by the way. Did you know that? It's not proof of identity. Not really. What it is proof of a contract. That's what a driver's license is. Now, states do grant, well, you can get a what they sometimes call a non-driver's ID from a state. I had one time. I had one from Alabama at one time. But that's for the legal person, though. That's the thing. It's for the legal person. Let's see. A person who claims to be a national but not a citizen of the United States may apply to the Secretary of State for a certificate of non-citizen national status. Upon one, proof of the satisfaction of the Secretary of State that the applicant is a national but not a citizen of the United States, and two, in the case of a non-citizen national born outside of the United States or its outlying possessions, taking and subscribing before an immigration officer within the United States or its outlying possessions to the oath of allegiance required for applicant for naturalization. An oath is a contract. All the oaths are contracts. Okay. The term national means a person owing permanent allegiance to a state. It's in section 10, whatever. Screw that. The term outlying possessions of the United States means American Samoa and Swains Island. The term state includes the District of Columbia, Puerto Rico, Guam, and the Virgin Islands of the United States. I want you to really get that. The term state for this thing right here includes the District of Columbia, Puerto Rico, Guam, and the Virgin Islands of the United States. Everyone get that. That's vitally important. That's if you are in one of those places, okay, like the District of Columbia, Puerto Rico, Guam, and the U.S. Virgin Islands of the United States, or Virgin Islands of the United States, whatever. Okay, those places, that's the United States. All right, that's the United States right there. All right, not California, not Alabama, not New York, but those places there. That's the United States. Okay. Unless otherwise provided in Section 301 of this title, the following shall be nationals, but not citizens of the United States at birth. Number one, a person born in an outlying possession of the United States on or after the date of formal acquisition of such possession. Number two, a person born outside the United States and is outlying possessions of parents both. This is really what I think it's supposed to be but it says is. It's outlying possessions of parents, both of whom are nationals but not citizens of the United States and have had a residence in the United States or one of its outlying possessions prior to the birth of such person. Number three, a person of unknown parentage found in an outlying possession in the United States while under the age of 5 years until shown prior to obtaining the age of 21 years, not to have been born in such outlying possessions. And number four, a person born outside of the United States and its outlying possessions of parents, one of whom is an alien and the other is a national but not a citizen of the United States, who prior to the birth of such person was physically present in the United States or its outlying possessions for a period or periods totaling not less than 7 years in any continuous period of 10 years. A, during which the national parent was not outside the United States or its outlying or whatever. You know what? Screw this. I'm not going to read the whole damn thing. Now, I'm going to read this though. Section 302 of Public Law 94-241. Sorry. All right. Any person who becomes a citizen of the United States solely by virtue of the provisions in Section 301 applying to those born in or residing in the Northern Mariana Islands may, within 6 months after the effective date of that section or within 6 months after reaching the age of 18 years, whichever date is later, become a national but not a citizen of the United States by making a declaration under oath before any court established by the Constitution or laws of the United States or any court of record in the Commonwealth in the form as follows. Quote, I, and there's a space there, being duly sworn, hereby declare my intention to be a national but not a citizen of the United States. Very important here. Any court of record in the Commonwealth. Okay. Any court of record in the Commonwealth. The state courts in California are Commonwealth court. Not Commonwealth courts. They are courts of record. Okay. Virginia is Commonwealth. But I'm not sure how they're really referring to Commonwealth here. I think Pennsylvania is Commonwealth and some others are Commonwealths. But anyway, there's that. It's something that, you might want to keep in mind. Okay. Now, Agenda 2030. Okay. Let me scroll on up to the top of this. Here, I've got Agenda 2030 right here on my computer. Transforming our world, the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development. Okay. From the United Nations. Basically, what they want to do, some of it sounds quite nice, actually. Some of it sounds nice on the surface. Here's the preamble, or part of it. Well, I don't know. I'll go ahead and read the whole thing. This agenda is a plan of action for people, planet, and prosperity. So it's a planet. It also seeks to strengthen universal peace and larger freedom. We recognize that eradicating poverty in all its forms and dimensions, including extreme poverty, is the greatest global challenge and an indispensable requirement for sustainable development. Now, I'm going to stop there for a moment. So, in that very first paragraph, they want to eliminate all poverties, all forms of poverty. All forms of poverty. At least that's what they're saying. Well, how do you do that? Actually, I know of a really great way. I laid out the whole plan in one of my first shows, in one of my very first Thunder Talk shows. And I laid it out again in my old Lightning Strike show. But I worry a lot because this is coming from the United Nations. Okay. And their idea of eliminating poverty may be eliminating poor peoples. I apologize for the noise. If you can hear the noise from the hallway, these walls are really, really thin. Okay. But anyway, yeah, they could simply start eliminating poor peoples by, killing them off or whatever. And they can say, well, yeah, we're fighting a war on poverty. They could do that. Anyway, continuing on, all countries and all stakeholders acting in collaborative partnership will implement this plan. We are resolved to free the human race from the tyranny of poverty and want to heal and secure our planet. We are determined to take the bold and transformative steps which are urgently needed to shift the world onto a sustainable and resilient path. As we embark on this collective journey, we pledge that no one will be left behind. The 17 Sustainable Development Goals and 169 targets, which we are announcing today, demonstrate the scale and ambition of this new universal agenda. They seek to build on the Millennium Development Goals and complete what they do not achieve. They seek to realize the human rights of all and to achieve gender equality and the empowerment of all women and girls. They are integrated and indivisible and balance the three dimensions of sustainable development: the economic, social, and environmental. The goals and targets will stimulate action over the next 15 years in areas of critical importance for humanity and the planet. Now, that's the end of the preamble. Question: how do they wish to, do this? Seriously, how are they going to proceed? I've read not the entire document, but I read most or a good portion of it anyway. I couldn't find in here where they actually were laying out a plan. There's a lot of talk about what they want to do, but no real talk about how they're going to do it. They do talk about raising money, but how are they going to raise money? Through taxes. So keep in mind, this is the United Nations. This is not the United States government. It's not the government of France. It's not the government of Australia or New Zealand or whatever. It's the United Nations. Also, notice the word stakeholders. All countries and all stakeholders. What's a stakeholder? It's someone who has a stake in something, right? Like a corporation. Are they saying the United Nations is a corporation? Well, yeah, actually it is. Okay. So yeah. Oh God, I hope you can't hear in the next office right now. This microphone is really good. It's a really good microphone. So yeah, I'm not sure if you're picking it up or not. I guess I could listen in for a moment here. Hang on. I'm going to be silent for a moment. Okay. That's good. Yeah, you can't hear the office next door. All right. So, it's kind of distracting though. So anyway, yeah, there's it is interesting that they talk about people too in here. Not persons, but people. But the use of the word people is as a collective, okay? So it is singular. It's still singular, but it's as a collective singular. Okay. There's people, which is singular, and peoples, which is plural. And then you have person, which is singular, and persons, which is plural. But if you have like we, the people, okay, that's a collective noun. So that's a singular collective noun, in other words. People, we are determined to end poverty and hunger in all its forms and dimensions, and to assure that all human beings can fulfill their potential and dignity and equality in a healthy environment. It's really odd that they're saying healthy environment when a lot of the food that we have that's being grown now is not, the land is not really mineralized properly. So we're getting a lot of food that doesn't have its proper minerals. Okay. Let's see. Do you want to keep going with this or not? By the way, there is a part in here about contracts. Okay, about this. Basically, they're trying to make this a contract. Oops, I'm gonna close that. Okay. Yeah, they're trying to make it a contract. But as parties, like are they expecting everyone to be a party to this? I don't know. I don't know exactly how they're going to do it, really. Like I said, I haven't finished reading all of it. It's a lot. It's a whole bunch of, it's quite a lot to read here. They got 91 points on here, which is really interesting because 91 is equally divisible by 13. Okay. They're Triskophiles. They love the number 13. It's a magic number. It's magic number. So all the multiples of 13 are considered to be magic numbers. So you have 13, 26, 39, 52, 65, 78, 91, 104, 117, 130, and on up. I'm a Triskophile too. That's the reason why I can rattle those off. 13 is a very interesting number. I became a Triskophile because I was studying them so much, studying their numbers. They like the number 33 as well. Of course, the number 3 and the number 7. So yeah, they like those numbers as well. When they do rituals and stuff, they like using the number 33. If you notice, like usually when they buy another company or something, it'll be like for 33 billion, or 33 million, and or some multiple of 13. So they're letting you know, they're letting you know. You know what? Let me get off of this one. Okay, and talk about. Let's see. I did this. Oh yeah, computers and stuff. I want to talk about a little bit of computers. I just recently had to do a factory reset on my phone, and a lot of my apps weren't working, and I couldn't figure out what the hell was going on. Okay, after I did the reset. Okay, and I went in the settings and all sort of stuff. I just couldn't figure out what was going on, and then eventually I said, "Well, wait a second. Maybe there's an app that needs to be updated." All right, so I went through and started updating my apps and stuff, or looking for updates, and I came across Google needing an update. The Google app needing to be updated, and I thought, oh, that's it right there. And I updated Google app, and as soon as I did that, all my other apps started working. Now we're talking about third-party apps here, okay? Like Smart News. I've got. By the way, if you don't have Smart News on your phone, I urge you to do it, to get it. Okay, Smart News, and I got News 360. Now, News 360 worked just fine before I did the Google update, but Smart News did not. Okay, Facebook did work, but my CM browser didn't work. My DuckDuckGo didn't work. There's a lot of things that just didn't work. A lot of apps that just did not work until I updated Google. So it's like, well, why aren't these working? Why is it that Google has such a stranglehold? Yeah, go ahead and try to quit Google. It's really almost impossible. You can't do Uber. I don't do Uber, by the way, but you can't do Uber without Google, without the Google apps and stuff being on your phone or whatever. Because, or if you want to quit, if you want to quit Google, you can't do Uber, because Uber is dependent on Google Maps. Now, there's something else. Israel has a back door into all the computers, because they have back doors put into the processors for all the computers. They don't even need to launch viruses and stuff to hack your computer. Israel can do it. And Israel, basically, for all practical purposes, is a United States military outpost. For all practical purposes, they get billions of dollars from the United States, billions of dollars. And for what? So they can sit there and destabilize the region, because the the arms dealers, they need to be able to sell arms. They have to be able to sell weapons. So a lot of it comes down to money. If there weren't any wars, these arms dealers would just go out of business. You do realize that, right? They got to keep selling. And that's one of the reasons why there's always wars. There's not only, the wars in the Middle East and stuff like that go on, in Afghanistan or whatever. There's the war on poverty. There's the war on drugs. These are wars. Okay. These are wars. They have to be wars, because like the Constitution for the state of California is very explicit. it says that you cannot have a standing army within the state of California for more than 2 years in a time of peace. So all these military bases would have to go. If they didn't have a war on drugs, a war on terrorism, a war on poverty, these military bases would have to go. All right. Oh, okay. So anyway, let me let me just go on with the news. I got so much news. I got probably too much news to cover. So damn it, I was going to talk about Walmart too. You know what? I'm going to save the talk about Walmart until next Sunday. All right, because there's a lot of stuff to talk about there. Okay, in the news, massive fire spotted on private island owned by billionaire Jeffrey Epstein. Okay, massive, really massive fire. He's trying to burn the evidence. He's trying to get rid of all the evidence. That's what he's trying to do. Let's see. I gotta scroll down here. I got all these memes here. Hang on a second. West says, I really have to show you how to pipe in Skype. Yeah. Let's see. I'm not sure how much I can handle, how much my computer can handle, really. It's a really old computer, and it's, all this stuff is going through my phone too. So, oh my God, I don't know. Anyway, let's see. Man, I got all these memes here. I didn't realize how many memes I've got scrolling through. By the way, I'm reading off of my my main page, okay, which is Thunder Bear Courage on Facebook, my main Facebook page. Yeah, Jeffrey Epstein arrested for sex trafficking of minors. Okay, the guy that we were just talking about, his island. Yeah. So he was arrested. That's the reason why for the fires, because he wants to get rid of all the evidence. Top police officer is caught with hundreds of child porn images. Let's see. Brain-eating amoeba found in Louisiana drinking water again. Nestle says requirement to report use of slave labor would cost consumers more money. That's actually an old story, but I decided to post it up again. Yeah, they don't want to. They do not want to be required to report the use of slave labor in the production of their products. That's just it. Anyway, West State says, but I have an interface and you do not, so that would create a problem. The problem, yeah. I have my computer and I have my phone and I've got this monitor, this really nice monitor. I found this monitor, by the way. I found it, but it didn't have cables with it. So later on, I found the connection cable that goes to the computer. Okay, I was just walking down the street and I found it on the sidewalk. And later on, like about a month later, I guess, I found the power cable for it. It's like, the God, Godhead or God or the universe or whatever you want to call it, all that is, apparently wanted me to have this monitor. It's a really nice monitor. It works really nicely. Okay. Let's see. Since 2001, we have spent $32 million per hour on war. What did I tell you? It's money and power and death. They love death. Oh, they love death so much. There's a $25,000 smartphone that's made by this company, and on it, keep in mind it's got gold and diamonds on and stuff like that. On it is a skull. Yeah, they know their audience. They're not audience. They're consumers or whatever. Yeah, they know who they're selling to. You know. All right, I'm peeling. I got a little bit of sunburn, and now it's starting to peel after like what 4 days or something. Skin is coming off. Don't you just hate that? And itching like crazy there. Oh, I've got a link to a YouTube video. What is federal land? It's actually really cool. It's a really cool little video. I highly urge you to go to YouTube when you get the chance and link over to what is federal land, or you can just come on my Facebook page and just follow the link. Hang on, West Stace said something else here. Hey, if you have the time after your show, I'd like to get a hold of you on Skype for a few minutes. Okay, yeah, cool. Sorry. I thought that's what you wanted me to read it. Anything that pops up on the chat, I'm going to read. Oh yeah, there's a link to a show, and it's a really cool show. It's called QI. And in this episode, it says, why do we need robotic rectums? It was a pretty cool episode. Oh, crap. I did it twice, too. I need to delete one of them. I hate it when I accidentally do post something twice. Okay. Mother who should not have been in jail, forced to give birth while shackled. Yeah, she was kidnapped. That was it. That's what they do. They kidnap. They kidnap, rape, they rob, they murder. They're nothing but crooks. Cops hold down handcuffed man as fellow cop smashes his face into concrete. Yeah, they're all roided out. Oh, crap, I did that one twice, too. I'm going to delete one of them. Man, what was going on that day? Let's see, a couple other memes. I got some really cool memes. They just steal from other people's. Oh, I got one here. It says a rock illuminated by the sunlight, the moon illuminated by its own light. Yeah, it shows you. It shows you how that. Yeah. Oh, by the way, the show that was on before mine that was taking up my spot, West Stace. Yeah, he's talking about some really cool stuff. But I think he misunderstood how the moon appears upside down in the southern hemisphere, because he said, "Oh, they're seeing the other side." No, it's not the other side. Oh, hang on a second. He said something. Sometimes reading the chat makes your whole show. Yeah, thanks. Yeah. But yeah, I think he misunderstood. Unless I misunderstood what he said. He said they're seeing the other side. No. Think of the moon as not a sphere. It's not. I don't think it's a sphere, by the way. Okay, it's got kind of like think of it like a bowl. Okay, but we're seeing the bottom of the bowl. All right. So since it's going over a flat Earth, we're in the so-called northern hemisphere, which is more like the center of the Earth or whatever. We're seeing it, the bottom of that bowl, from one angle. Someone in Australia is seeing the bottom of the bowl from the opposite angle. Okay, that's it. That's what's happening. Okay, so I hope that clears that up a lot. And yeah, obviously it's not like a three-dimensional object casting a shadow over another three-dimensional over a sphere. It's obviously not. Is DARPA planning to infect insects with GM viruses for use in food crops? Probably so. I'm just reading off the oh god, the titles, I guess, of these things. Not titles. I don't know what I'm trying to say here. Whatever. FBI warned key document in Manafort case may have been fake. Okay, well, actually, I'm not even following that case. I have no idea who the hell they're talking about. I think it has something to do with Trump. I'm not even following the Trump thing, to me, it's all surface level bullcrap anyway. You know, because the United States, in this case, you know, well, there are like 6 different United States of Americas, but one of these United States of Americas is actually a corporation, which is a franchise under the Holy Roman Empire. Archbishop Derek R. McLeod is the franchise owner. Okay, that's what it is. It's a franchise, or at least one of them anyway. It's a religious non-profit corporation. Okay. Let's see. Scrolling down. Sorry, I'm scrolling down. Channel 5 sex doc blasted for graphic nude scenes. Yeah, that was a really interesting little thing. Apparently, they're doing basically full-on porn in the United Kingdom over the airwaves. Full-on porn. Okay. On Channel 5. Yeah, it's interesting. Drunk woman hacks off husband's penis after he refused sex as punishment. Yeah. Jeez. You know what? It makes me glad I don't have a girlfriend or a wife. Seriously. I'm, it's just, I see stories like that and I think, okay, why am I not gay? Seriously, I need to go gay. Okay. Because you never see where one man hacks off another man's penis. You know what I'm saying? It's like, why wasn't I born gay? I mean, come on. The kind of thing, I mean, it really makes you afraid of women. Seriously. Every upcoming Marvel show and movie from Hawkeye to Hit Monkey. Yeah, it's an article about the upcoming Marvel movies and shows. They're doing Hit Monkey. Awesome. Hit Monkey is a really silly character, but fun. You know, it's one of the fun characters. I don't know. I don't know what to say about it. Whatever. Let's see. Oh yeah, there's a meme. Let's do an episode of Drunk History, but the guy telling the story hasn't had anything to drink, and he's the president of the United States. Yeah, I did not. Like I heard like much later, like maybe a day or two later, about what Trump had said. Apparently, Trump thinks that airports were around in the 1700s. But he said he was talking about, oh, well, it was the teleprompter's fault. Because the teleprompter was messing up on him. Yeah, but still, dude, look, are you not just hearing what you're saying? You know, I don't care if it's a teleprompter or not. Well, actually, you shouldn't be using a teleprompter. You know, I've got a notebook here, okay? And my notes, like number 1 note, it says Agenda 2030 / contract / stakeholder, and then it has 89 there, okay? Or 84, sorry, 84. And that's just telling me that it's referencing a document that I wanted to reference. Okay. I want to talk about the stakeholders and stuff, whatever. But like one of them says just the word disguise. Number 6, disguise. So that lets me know, well, I got to reference this article here. You know? So yeah, just like a key word, and I can talk about it, or it doesn't even have to be referencing an article or whatever. It's just a subject, like Walmart. I've got on here, I got the word Walmart. Well, I know what to talk about if I was going to talk about Walmart tonight. You know, it's just a reminder. So I don't give speeches, you know, and I don't think these politicians should be giving speeches either. Of course, you know, all politicians are liars, right? But yeah, I don't think they should be giving speeches. Let them talk, sure. fine. You know, if Trump was actually the head of a real government, the administrator for a real government, what I call a real government would be a corporation that we have a contract with that we own. Okay. It just does services for us. It's like, oh, you want to get up and talk to us? Okay, fine. Just talk to us. What's up with these damn speeches? Whatever. Let's see. Man, I got a lot of memes up here. Okay. Orangutan from Borneo photographed using a spear tool to fish. Yeah. Yeah, they're tool users. Crows are tool users. A crow, actually saw a crow take a paperclip, a straightened out paperclip, and bend it to get to and to use it as a tool to get to the bottom of a test tube where a worm was, and use the paperclip. So a crow fashioned a tool. It's not something that was just laying around. He fashioned it. She, whatever, fashioned the tool to get to that worm. Yeah, there's a lot more intelligence in the animal kingdom than you give them credit for. Breaking: Julian Assange poisoned while in Belmarsh prison in the UK. Yeah, he doesn't need to be in prison at all. He's kidnapped. Let's see. Texas attorney: CPS is too powerful, has become an adoption mill. Headlines. That's what I meant to say. Headlines. That's the word I was thinking about. Yeah. Yeah. It's a pedophile network. That's what it is. It's a pedophile network. They lose kids all the damn time too. They lose track of kids. Whatever. Let's see. The Crown of England is owned and operated by the Vatican. They control 1.2 billion slaves. That's true. That reminds me. There's a story. Very important story here. It's on here someplace. It's about the Queen of England. Okay. And apparently the official website for Buckingham Palace actually came out and told everyone that the Queen is not human. Okay, let me see if I can find that story. I want to skip down. Okay, I've got other stories. I'm going to skip them and go back to them. I want to find that story because I want to actually read off what it says. Scroll down here. Man, I got a lot of stories here. Because I really want to get to that story and read it. Because it was after like several thousand Britons actually saw the Queen shapeshift that the Buckingham Palace actually made an official statement. And I want to read the statement. Hang on. Man, scroll down. God, I got a lot of stories here. A lot of news stories. There's no way I'm gonna be able to get to all of them tonight. There's one there's two that's duplicated. I gotta. Well, where the hell is that thing? Man, it's down here off of. Where is it? I can't find it now. You know what I'm gonna do? Instead of looking through it here, I am going to try to look it up. I hope it doesn't cut my audio off too much. Oh crap. This thing is so slow. Here we go. Queen is not human. Just type that into DuckDuckGo and see what I get. I wonder if Facebook removed this story and didn't tell me. I don't know. there's no way of really knowing because I only posted it up to just my main page. And my main page is just really just, here we go. Confirmed on Buckingham Palace. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. I'm just reading from this story here. I keep reading and hearing talk of full disclosure regarding ETs every day. I see. Okay, let me scroll down here. Okay, recently it was reported that an internal document acknowledging that Queen Elizabeth is a shape-shifting reptilian, the royal family's official website, before being abruptly taken down, but not before alert internet users captured screenshots of the extraordinary article and proof that the press release did appear on Google. This announcement, published on www.royal.uk, leaves one to wonder exactly what was meant by the statement. Earlier this week, okay, here's the statement. Earlier this week, the Queen was seen by thousands of people in a forum they are not acquainted with. We seek to reassure the public that the Queen is still the Queen and remains the respected and loved figure that they have always known. While she may not be human, she is a devoted leader and monarch, and she believes her subjects will grow to accept her and her family for what they are. Okay. Now, I was talking to my mom yesterday because I call her every Saturday, right? And I told her about this, and she says, it's like, it can't be true or whatever. And I said, well, the thing is that PR peoples, if there was like a mistake in the wording, or if it was a hoax, or if it was, someone hacked into the site or whatever, okay, anything like that, the PR peoples would be right on top of that because that's their job. All right. That's how they think. It's like, oh, we got to get out ahead of this and say, no, it was a hoax, or it was, a mistyping or a typo or whatever, or whatever. Okay. They would get out ahead of this. So anyway, that's that story, and I have got to take another break, and I apologize for both these breaks being exactly the same. I don't have very much material to work with. Okay. And anyway, let's see. Okay, I'll be right back after this break. Please donate to help keep FERlive.com on the air. We thank those who have donated for allowing us to continue on our mission to share the flat earth truth as well as other truths. While FERlive.com is free to listen to, the cost of running the station continue to grow as we do. To donate, please go to FERlive.com and look for the link that says Donate Today. The Ferret thanks you for your support.
You're listening to Flat Earth Radio Live, and this is the Flat Earth Man, and all you're watching is a puppet show. All y'all watching is a puppet show. Yeah, the whole world's a stage. The whole world's a stage, man. You're listening to Flat Earth Radio Live.
Find yourself mastering the beat. Tune in and listen every Saturday for the Geocentric Eccentric with West Blaze Music, our resident musician and spiritual brother in Christ, Yahushua. The Geocentric Eccentric with West Blaze Music.
Check this
yes,
out.
It's Message in the Music time once again, and only Flat Earth Radio has got him. Saturday, the true Sabbath. Lend a knee and bend an ear. Listen every Saturday for the Geocentric Eccentric with West Blaze Music.
Check this out.
Starting 5 o'clock p.m. on the West Coast, 8 o'clock p.m. on the East Coast,
Check this out.
and 7 o'clock p.m. Central.
This is out.
The Geocentric Eccentric.
The Geocentric Eccentric.
West Blaze Music. Only Flat Earth Radio has got him. The Geocentric Eccentric with West Blaze Music.
As bad as I want to be. FlatEarthRadioLive.com. The Ferret.
Hey, John, you don't look so good. What's the matter?
Oh, I always feel tired and run down. No energy. I think it's my poor diet or something.
Well, John, I used to feel the same way. Couldn't sleep at night, couldn't stay awake in the daytime. That's when my doc told me that I had leaky gut syndrome.
Oh, wow. What'd you do? Surgery?
No way. I tried Tarsal. Tarsal is made with the finest, purest cream of tartar and MSM sulfur. And that's all. The fact that it contains all natural ingredients makes it especially desirable in today's toxic world. Tarsal is a white powder that you take every day with water or juice. Taken regularly, Tarsal can clear your leaky gut right up.
Tarsal, huh? So what else does Tarsal do?
Tarsal can help with acne, psoriasis, constipation, gallstones, heartburn, hemorrhoids, hypertension, IBS, and UTI.
Wow, that's quite a formula.
Yes, it is. And Tarsal also helps you to relax, repels insects, and can help you stop smoking.
So how do I find Tarsal?
That's easy. Just go to tarsal.com or call 619-363-1264. Try a bottle today and begin feeling normal again.
TARSUL.com. Try Tarsal today.
Asking these questions that no one ever asked before because we didn't even think about this. I think it's like God unlifting the veil, He's starting to show people, look, you want to believe this? It's a lie. People are asking questions and truth is going to prevail. It's like, yeah, the biggest problem is that we're not able to eliminate questions, so therefore we can't assimilate. And, we're constantly, people are asking questions and truth is going to prevail.
Join your host, Shelley Lewis, every Wednesday afternoon at 5 o'clock p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, 7 o'clock Central, and 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Down the Rabbit Hole with Shelley Lewis.
Down the Rabbit Hole with host Shelley Lewis. Only here on Flat Earth Radio Live. The Ferret.
Yeah, I mean, it's laughable what is, tried to pass off as, and what's so great now about YouTube and about these video platforms is, back in the day, you got one shot to see this stuff on television, and that was it. I mean, you believed it was true. You saw it once. Maybe you saw it on a rerun. Maybe on the other news channel, they would rerun some of this footage. But now it's all been released and people have the ability to look at it and to pick it apart and to really think about it. Like we talked earlier about the lunar landing. Now that people have the technology at their fingertips on their laptops to be able to speed up the lunar landing footage. You have the Land Rover going around and you have the guys hopping around in slow motion. Speed that up 200% and it looks like they went out in the desert and film that. But here's something that I'm going to tell you as a video guy. Here's why I believe that the lunar landing was faked. Because there is no way you can have a power source that strong at that time in history, and there's no way you could transmit that video signal all the way to Earth. Absolutely 100% not. Let me tell you something. I have just on my if I have a handheld video camera and I want, and let's say I'm shooting a scene and the producer wants to see what I'm shooting. So they have a transmitter in their hand and they have a battery on my camera. The battery that I have is about the size of a brick. It's more square, but it's about the same mass as a brick. And it only lasts for maybe an hour and a half. And that signal only goes a couple 100 feet. Now you're going to tell me that on that teeny little spaceship with that teeny little camera, they're going to have enough power to transmit a full color video signal all the way down to earth. And I can also tell you this, that the when they promised a full color video signal, the station that broadcasted the lunar landing, they were pissed because they weren't getting raw video feed. What they were getting was called a kineoscope. And for those of you who don't know what that is, that was an editing process used up until the late 1990s. And I've actually seen the kineoscope technology and utilized it when I worked in a film lab, and it's very interesting. Basically, it's an editing tool. So you have a screen, basically it's a television screen, and you shoot that with a film camera. So now it's on 16 millimeter film. So what they did with those videos, in theory, why you see a black and white image of the lunar landing, although they claim the full color videos exist, was what NASA says they did was transmitted the full color video signal, filmed it on a kinescope, black and white on 16 millimeter film, and then released that to the networks. So therefore, it was not a live event, because to get film processed, it takes hours, and it's a whole process that generally takes about 6 hours to complete, even with the most efficient film laboratories. So why would they get this crappy, grainy, black and white film image when they could have broadcasted color, which at the time the networks were pissed that they didn't have the ability to do, that NASA denied them? But anyway, that's neither here nor there. The whole kineoscope thing, that's a side note. My thing is, there is no way with that technology and with batteries being as big and as weak and as heavy as they were, you could have broadcast that signal from the moon. Impossible.
Okay, I'm back. So, still listening to the break. It's time delay. So anyway, I do want to mention that. There we go. I do want to mention that right now we're having some issues with our apps, because apparently they're not even there right now, because our system was hacked. Okay. Yeah, let's face it, someone that goes out of the way to hack our system, they just don't want you to have access to it. You know, that's all there is to it. So I did want to mention that. But next week, hopefully we'll have the apps back on the Play Store. Okay. Yeah, I found out because like I said, I did a factory reset on my phone, and I said, okay, well, where's my, FER Live app to listen to the show, and where's the FE People app? And they weren't there, and I Skyped the owner of FER Live, and Skype out everywhere actually, and he said we're hacked. It's like, oh crap, that sucks. It really sucks that we're under attack like that. And it's just, you wouldn't attack us. No one would attack us if we were up here saying that unicorns are real and they pooped rainbows and they're magical and stuff like that. Because all that can be just laughed off. That's entertaining. But, we talk about the earth being flat. And in my particular case, I talk about courts and stuff like that. And so yeah, it's probably not going to be the last time we're going to be attacked. Especially if we start getting bigger and bigger, they're just going to be attacking us harder and harder. It's a censorship thing. Anyway, getting back to the news. Starbucks shop boots police officers because customer did not feel safe around them. Yeah. And Starbucks, of course, issued something later, say, well, we don't really know why the customer was like that, blah, 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 whatever. And, trying to cover up the fact that who would feel safe around a police officer? The police officers are crooks, period. As I said, they rape, they rob, they steal. or well, rob and steal are basically the same thing. Sorry. They murder, they kidnap. Please, really. The end of legalese. Thought River launches new AI-powered legal language. The thing is, the legal language, legalese, is really varied, and you have to actually have a lawyer look over legal contracts because lawyers speak legalese. They know that language, and it is a foreign language. There's no doubt about it. It is really, truly foreign. Unless you live in the city of London. If you live in the city of London, then yeah, technically it's not really a foreign language. But that's, basically where legalese comes from. It comes from the legal system. Anyway. So, yeah, it's kind of an interesting little thing they got here, the article, if you're interested in that kind of thing. They're going to try to consolidate legalese into more of a consistent language. This kit helps you build a Raspberry Pi powered laptop and more fun projects. Actually looks kind of cool. It really does. It looks cool. Looks kind of cool. Expensive though for what it is. Well, a bit expensive anyway. For the whole kit and everything. There are two versions of the kit, but if you're interested, you can look that up yourself. Use your iPad as a secondary display in Mac OS Catalina. Do that. Man declared dead, found alive at his own funeral. That happens sometimes. Okay. It really does. It happens sometimes. They declare you dead, and it's like, oh, you're not really dead. It's like it's such a weak pulse or whatever. Whatever. Remarkable nerve transfer surgery restores hand movement to people with paralysis. Racists are attempting to prove mermaids can't be black using science. Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of a funny little story there. Funny little article. Confusion at the border. Okay, it's from factcheck.org. I read over it. It's like, well, yeah, they actually are fact checking this thing, this story, or these stories. Actually, it's multiple stories that they fact checked, and it seems to check out. They're concentration camps on the border, and they're holding all of them unlawfully. Legally, sure, they can murder you legally, but not lawfully. Okay, let's put it that way. Anything they want to be made legal, they make legal. A kid didn't really hack into Florida's election system. Yeah. It's kind of a misreporting of a story. Which I've got on here, by the way. I've got the original story. But it's kind of, misreporting, a little bit misunderstanding. They didn't get their facts quite straight. It's mostly false about them hacking into the election system. China is forcing tourists to install text stealing malware at its border. Okay. Of course. They're trying to control everything. That brings me kind of back to the United Nations 2030 thing, Agenda 2030. What it is, they're trying to control everything. How are they going to pull off Agenda 2030? By control mechanisms. That's how. Whatever. Charges dropped against a woman accused of killing her fetus because she was shot while pregnant. That's in Alabama, by the way. This ice cream truck owner hates influencers so much he charges them double. which is pretty cool because he's got so much business. And these influencers say, "Well, yeah, can you give me some free ice cream? I got thousands of followers or whatever." It's like, come on, even without the influencers, he's got huge business because his ice cream is like really good. People in Japan are renting cars but not driving them. Yeah, it turns out that they're using them as offices or using them to just take a nap in or whatever, or even just as to just have a bit of entertainment or whatever. They're not driving them anywhere. They're just sitting in the car because Japan, a lot of places in Japan, especially like Tokyo and stuff like, they're so overcrowded, because it's an island nation. Well, actually multiple islands technically, but whatever. But yeah, it's it's really small and they don't have that much room. And yeah, it's even cheaper than the sleep pods and stuff. So they actually rent cars to sleep in, for like during the day or whatever. Let's see, skip that one. Oh, Akira is getting a 4K remaster and a new anime series. So for fans of Akira, Akira was pretty cool, actually. Pretty cool anime. Yeah, it's getting a 4K remaster. Doctor Who might finally get sorry, let me start that one over again. Doctor Who might finally get a game that does it justice. Yeah, all the other games are basically just crap. They can never do them right. But in this new game, they may actually be doing them right. And I'm running out of time. These kinetic wrinkle-free pants use your body's heat to maintain a perfectly pressed look. A physicist and his son are 3D printing a full-scale Lamborghini. Yeah, it's just for their own use and just for demonstrating technology. Not everything in Lamborghini is 3D printed, but a lot of the stuff is. The body is 3D printed, and they actually changed up the design a little bit so they don't get in trouble with Lamborghini. But yeah, it looks really cool. Yeah, just 3D print your own car. Save a lot of money that way, Seriously, they save like a vast amount of money, and you can have a really cool looking car too. Man, the era of sex for reproduction is coming to an end, says author. The benefits of conceiving in the lab will soon be too tempting to pass up. Yeah, I'm not so sure about that, but they do make some. The author does make some good points. A bird strike caused an Air Force plane to accidentally drop 3 training bombs on Florida. Oh man. Yeah, they're dumb. They were dummy bombs, so. But yeah, poor Florida, I swear. We regret to inform you the UK's ad regulator has deemed anyone with 30,000 followers a celebrity. Yeah, that's kind of an interesting little story too. Astronauts aren't dying from space radiation. New research suggests. That's very interesting for us in the flat Earth community. It's more proof that they're not actually in space because they aren't dying from space radiation, and they should be. According to NASA, space is filled with radiation, absolutely filled with radiation. It's like, well, why aren't the astronauts dying? Whatever. It's because they're in buoyancy pools and in studios and stuff with green screen. Let's see. Researchers discovered giant reservoir of fresh water underneath the Atlantic seabed, and it is huge. It goes all the way from like New Jersey up to Martha's Vineyard. I mean, just even further, actually. Vast reservoir of fresh water. yeah, this Earth actually is a creation. So of course they're going to keep providing us with fresh water. We're not going to run out of fresh water. You know, all these scare tactics saying, "Oh, eventually run out of fresh water." No, we're not going to run out of fresh water. Whoever is over this earth is not going to allow us to run out of water. They're going to keep providing us with water, and you know, we keep providing them with entertainment, I guess, or whatever. You know, the Truman Show, maybe. I don't know. MacBook Pro catches fire days before Apple's battery recall program. PlayStation Classic now just $25, way down from original $100 price tag. It's a classic PlayStation. Actually, it sounds pretty cool. Aerogel could revolutionize solar energy collection. So if you're interested in that kind of stuff there. Metropolitan Police facial recognition tech, not only crap, but also of dubious legality. It's in a report. Man who took flag burning case to SCOTUS, that's the Supreme Court, and won, arrested after burning flag on 4th of July. Yeah, he already took it all the way up to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court said, yeah, you can burn the flag. Okay. As, you know, free speech. And then he gets arrested on 4th of July for burning a flag. Oh my. It's not our flag though. It's you know, it's a corporation. It's a private corporate flag, whatever. Worms causing, oh God, I cannot pronounce that. It's some Greek word. Aniscaeus, I guess, disease found in canned sardines from China. So yeah, China, man. All this food from China, don't eat it. Seriously. The pet food from China is poison a lot of times. Regular food from China, oh man, you know, just Chinese food. When they send food over from China over to here, man, if you see made in China on the label, just don't eat it. Don't get it in the first place. Classified video from 1952 shows the U.S. military testing biological warfare on U.S. I gotta hurry up. Really. Cops catch pigeon with backpack of drugs, full of drugs. You know what? This thing actually looks like it's photoshopped. This is from NewYorkPost.com. I'm kind of wondering, because this looks photoshopped. I'm gonna have to put that in the comment or something, or I don't know. CPS in court case. Can CPS lie to take your children? That's on YouTube. Yeah, actually they can. They do all the time. But the judge cannot call them on the lie. The judge has to assume they are not lying unless they state for the record that they are in fact lying. Okay. That's the way their courts work. Sex offenders, including pedophiles, should be allowed to adopt, Theresa May told. You know, Theresa May in the UK. Yeah, she wants pedophiles to be able to adopt kids. Yeah. Okay. They're not trying to hide it anymore. Oh, here's the Trump 1775 airport takeover era story. God, that's just so funny. Police allege mice ate half a ton of missing weed. Right. Okay. Yeah. Half a ton, huh? The mice ate it. Yeah. Right. Oh my God. Lying sacks of you know what. Minimum wage would be $33 a day if it grew like Wall Street bonuses have. Yeah. It should be $33 today. Yeah, should be $33 an hour, roughly. Well, not 30. Actually, $26 an hour. Yeah, $26 an hour is actually about living wage for most areas, even in California. Approximately $26 an hour. Because it's been a little while since I did the math, so it may be more than that. Let's see. Border Patrol agents telling migrants to drink from toilet at U.S. detention camps. Yeah, this is the one that Fact Check did, and they said, yeah, it's right. The toilet. I just got in a whole thing, an argument with someone on this. Yeah, it's like, well, they said, well, the toilet and sinks are all one, one thing, and it's like, well, the thing is that sink part can malfunction. And I even did a link to the site that of the company that manufactures those things. But yeah, whatever. Let's see. IMF head convicted of criminal charges over massive government payout. And I gotta hang on. High-ranking priest caught in cocaine-fueled gay orgy in Vatican apartment. Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it. South Africa's Zulu nation joins white farmers in fight against government land seizures, and I've got to basically end my show here. So I am sorry, I didn't get to all of my news. So if you are if you're pulling out of a parking lot at night, please put on your headlights and your taillights if you have one of those defective cars. If you have one of those defective cars, you might want to consider maybe taking it back to the dealership and saying, hey, fix this, please. The defective cars where you have a separate switch for the taillights, that's never there's only one reason to have that, and that's so cops can pull you over. So you can forget to pull that switch and cops to pull you over. Don't give cops a reason to pull you over. Okay. Let's see. Oops, I gotta take this. Hang on a second. Problem is I'm broadcasting on two different things here. I'm broadcasting on my YouTube and FARlive.com as well. So I gotta end this. Everyone have a good night. Bye. Okay, and stopping here. Bye.